Hello, ladies, gents, and obsessively constructing mecha builders, and welcome to my factory. Oh, this is Dyson Sphere Program, a factorio-like, if you will. It's a game where you build and build and build with the ultimate goal of harvesting the sun, which you cannot see right now. I probably should have timed this better, but the sun will be coming over the horizon. And the ultimate goal is to build a Dyson sphere around the sun to harvest this energy. A Dyson sphere is a mechanical construction that wraps around a star, and it will harvest this energy that way. If you have played Factorio, I don't need to tell you anything else. If you haven't, you basically harvest natural resources, make them into basic items that then you use to construct more and more and more complex items until you reach your ultimate goal, which in this game is to eat a star. And then when you eat a star, you continue on through the solar system not through the solar system, through the freaking galaxy and harvest more stars, and you contribute more that way to the meta game that I have not reached yet. I have not yet built my Dyson sphere. I am in the process. I feel like I'm maybe 75% there. Let me explain to you. This is all mined out. This used to be a resource patch. This is all that I have supplemented from a distance now to, use the infrastructure that used to be here. Starts very simple. You harvest your delicious iron. It comes over here. Goes over to build some magnets over there, and here are some iron plates. By now I have many other facilities that do these things, but this is the starting one. And this is my very first factory, and I love the look of first factories. It is this conveyor belt spaghetti. It's something that it is so pleasing to me to watch unfold and growing complexity. I have gone out of my way to make it complicated and stupid because it is so amusing as I am building it, just trying to get the conveyor belts where I want them to be. Anyway, you get those iron plates, those delicious iron plates, and they go over here and they just continue supplying all the production. Here are some cogs, here are some magnetic coils, there are some circuit boards. Then the circuit boards can be stored over here, and then they continue on to be provided to the research cubes, which are the basic currency to get further in your technology tree. I am up to, you start at blue, then you develop red, then you develop yellow, and I am up to the purple cubes. There's a total, I think, of 6. Don't quote me on that. But I am on the purple one. It requires much more advanced materials, as you would expect, that have been created progressively as you carry on. You start out as just bare mecha, just going through the place, consuming pieces of wood to fuel yourself. These days, I consume something a little bit more advanced, some deuteron fuel rods. It's basically nuclear energy that lets me fly forever as long as I have the fuel. But anyway, you get it, right? That's it. And from the simplest of technologies, you continue developing technologies through all of the tech tree to build more and more advanced. You probably want to advance through the main quest line, and then you get to a point like, I guess I need some other technology to get there, and you deviate from there to get the other technologies that you need to advance into further down the quest line, the technology tree. These are the technologies to be able to build your Dyson sphere at the end. Then there's upgrades for your mecha to be able to be more efficient, faster, stronger, all kinds of Daft Punk lyrics. And you just carry on with all that building. Now that's like one side. The other, not quite independent, but coupled side to that is energy production. Of course, you need to research to be able to have better energy sources. You start out by just burning. There's the sun that I have created a few orbits of solar sails to harvest some of this energy. A quantum chip has been researched. Now I can produce them for further goals that I have yet to determine. You start out harvesting trees, burning them as fuel, using them to build your mecha. If you are in a planet with wind energy, that's probably what you're going to rely on when you start. Then I have moved on to coal plants, which produce much better energy, much more efficient. It's extremely efficient energy production, but it's finite. It is not renewable. Here's my coal harvesting mines. They go and produce the graphite that then gets tossed into all the coal production, the coal burning stations. This is one of many. There's several more. Oh, what's that in the horizon, you asked? What the hell are these enormous constructions? Oh, these are just my interplanetary resource collection, because you see, you're not limited to just, oh, I built a factory in this planet. Let me just go off planet to my other production place that I can probably see in the, here you go. This is the galactic map, or the solar system map. Let me find Zeta Capricorni. Get an indicator there. Let's do a nice space travel. Speed up as fast as we can go. You can see my energy draining there while my sail speed keeps increasing. I am not concerned about running out of energy anytime soon. There's the deuteron fuel rod, and a little, like a step below that is the hydrogen fuel rods. We're getting close to Zeta Capricorni, one of my other off-planet factories. Is where I just harvest silicon over there, because unfortunately the planet that I started, which is just a moon orbiting a... I'm gonna crash. And there you go. There's no crash damage. Started with a moon in a moon orbiting a gas giant, but the moon is like a Earth-like planet. Here are my geothermal power generation alongside the solar power generation to fuel my giant silicon harvesting plants. It's all getting tossed into the orbital collector kind of thing that shunts them off through the shuttles. There's one here. I mean, it's not like completely covered up like the other one is. There's not a ton of silicon in this planet, but it's just, you know, what I can do. Let me, for no reason at all, I did bring some more solar panels, and I do like to make, in the other planet that I'm harvesting titanium from, I have a line of solar panels that goes all around one meridian. It's pretty amusing. Actually, I think I'm doing it wrong. In fact, I just realized I am putting them down a meridian. Well, I should be putting them down the equator, so that way the harvest happens all through the day. So, you know, no skin off my back. It's not a big deal. I can just grab, go into the energy production. I have 100 solar panels. Let me just start going down the line. Drop down 1 billion of them, and we'll just make a giant line of solar panels. For the future, I will be using that. I'm not sure if I can cover the lava. Let's find out. You can cover the lava. Oh, amazing. This is incredible technology. Unfortunately, I didn't have a plan to do this, so I didn't bring enough foundation to get that done. Actually, I think I just don't have the soil, which is harvested in a different way. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is something I had no plan to do. I actually have a plan for the goal of the video, but let me just drop down all the solar panels. I need to also drop some, in any game that requires solar energy, there is always an extra component of it. How does this planet rotate? Yeah, it's definitely rotating along the equator. That's not guaranteed, right? It's something that you may not Like it may be not rotating along the equator, it may be rotating along like a very wobbly path. I don't know how far Dyson Sphere Program simulates such things. I'm pretty sure it bothers with that to have azimuth to the rotation of a planet and that kind of parameters, and each planet is different. I mean, it doesn't take that much to simulate such things, I don't think. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of solar panels. Drop some more accumulators, which are batteries for whenever the sun is not hitting my solar panels. There you go. More shall be collected. Some of them are full, some of them are empty. They're newly placed. So anyway, that's what happens. You go to a different planet. You harvest more resources there and shunt them to your main base, or not. You don't need to have a main base. You can just go to every planet and make them a giant factory. I think it comes across in everything that I'm saying how deeply impressed I am with this game. I went in thinking, oh, it's a Factorio-like. It's going to be an experience just like Factorio. And sure, the incredible addiction to building things is there. It's not 4. That's the titanium harvesting plant. There you go. I like to just find it in space. It's more amusing. But it is so much more than Factorio. I don't even want to say it's more. Factorio does its own thing. Dyson Sphere Program does its own thing. Don't want to put down Factorio in any way. What an absolutely excellent game. Don't let me badmouth that. Slap me across the face if you ever hear me badmouth Factorio or unfavorably compare it to anything. But Dyson Sphere Program does its own thing. It puts all this planetary and galaxy layer on top of your building that makes it so much more awe-inspiring. It brings it from you're stranding a planet to you are this god building machines to harvest a star. Absolutely incredible stuff. Here's all my oil harvesting plants that come all the way from here. Like, you start so small and the increments are so incremental, you don't realize just how much work you've done. There's all the oil coming from my oil harvesting. It goes into refineries. The refineries feed it into the main belt over here that then gets separated. The refined oil gets separated from hydrogen. Then the hydrogen fuels certain things such as what does it fuel? It fuels a whole bunch of stuff. A production of sulfuric acid, I think, and all kinds of stuff. All this organic nonsense to be able to create yellows. Carbon is over there to be made into diamonds. Plastic over here, and then the sulfuric acid gets used to create the, what are these called again? The graphene, which also then gets transported to the carbon nanotube production, which in turn gets used to create the structures that will eventually use in my Dyson Sphere. I've been just actually, let me put some more storage over here so that more of the structures to create the Dyson Sphere. I'm pretty sure that these are the ones that will eventually be used. Dyson Sphere component. There you go. I'm just stockpiling those for the future. I don't know if they'll be useful. This is what I'm doing. Anyway, that's 15 minutes. You understand the game. That's pretty damn basic conceptualization that I have given you. Let me just do some nitty-gritty work, something that you may encounter in your own travels as you construct your factory. This is the problem that I have, okay? I'm going to tell you the problem. I'm going to give you the patchwork solution that I want to do. I know it's not the final solution. I am just working within the cramped confines of my factory because I love doing that. I know I could just create another production center somewhere else. It's more fun to me to make this work. So I have only these three processor factories, okay? That used to be plenty, just fine production for my needs. But suddenly, my processor needs have skyrocketed because, like I said earlier, if you follow this belt over here, it carries it all the way to purple production. I need more purple. Purple is the newer research unit, and I need more purple. I need more processors. So, I got a bit of a space problem over here. I ain't got enough processors to go around, but not just that. You see how the items that come over here, the production is just not enough. It's just not working out for me because these right here are just not enough production of microcrystalline components, obviously. I need more microcrystalline components. I have plenty of resources to make them. I just don't have room to make some more. So you see how the problem, there's a chain of problems that you then have to go to the bottom link of the chain to solve the problem so that then the chains that are above can properly function. So I need some more room to make some more crystalline components. That's about it. But I got no room over here, unfortunately. So the thing is, this used to be a thriving iron plate production facility. But as you can see, this mine is almost depleted. Only these nodes over here are still there because they are being used to create magnets, which is not iron plates. So it has come to pass. We can now remove these mines over here, and that node can just stay there. I don't care. We're going to remove all that. This plate production is no longer necessary. It just gets completely removed. Unfortunately, those plates were being used to create steel over here. I have a different steel production facility, but this supply was still being used. It's being used for something. Let's follow this conveyor belt to figure out what the hell is being used for. It's being used to create thrusters, obviously. So that cannot be removed. So our first step in fixing this problem, let's remove all this. Remove all that. We no longer need it. These are the power poles. It's something that you'll be laying down by the dozen and by the hundreds by the time you're done. But we should be able to remove those too. We no longer need them. And in fact, we can make the more advanced, there you go, a more advanced version that it's like a satellite power feed that allows things to happen. I like to keep production of most buildings in the mecha itself. You can automate production of everything pretty much. I do like to keep buildings on a manual basis. I am a basic bitch like that. Don't judge me. Anyway, let's put that satellite power supply. I'm gonna put it right there. Probably I'll want that space to be used for something. And then after that, I can just remove. Please. There you go. Remove that. I can remove this one. I can remove this one. See, it saves me a bunch of room. A bunch of power poles that we can just delete. Anyway, that was not the point at all. Actually, it is no longer supplying for this right here. But actually, I probably will remove that because let's go all the way over here. There's the steel plant that I actually made dedicated to just make steel beams. So we can bring this steel. Is being used for something else. What is it being used for? Over here. It goes under the hydrogen. It's being produced, being used to create titanium alloys. But I have far more supply over there than is necessary for the titanium alloy. So we can simply create another supply line. We're gonna make one of these. It's gonna be independent. Go above that. Actually, let's just leave it a little elevated. We're just going to make a conveyor belt that goes all the way over there. We're just solving a problem, which is my steel beams need to continue to have a place to harvest. Let's elevate this to just to get it out of the way of everything. And we will carry on all the way to where I want it to be. Again, the conveyor belt spaghetti. There are drones, just like in Factorio. You can make centralized drones, and then the drones will carry the things for you instead of bothering with this insanity. I love it, though. I love conveyor belts and just throwing them all over the place. So it's just an aesthetic choice for me that I really enjoy. You, of course, don't start out. I need some more belts. I have used them up. But you see how there are lower level of belts? You start out with the simple basic belts that are much slower. But I have automated the construction of belts. Whenever I run out, I just come here, pick up my couple stacks, and go back to building nonsense. Where's my... There it is. Okay, so we'll continue. Unfortunately, I need to elevate that again. There you go. And here we are. Here's the steel beams that we can move over here. Actually, let me just go back. Let me go back to the floor. We can lower it through here. I just enjoy the mechanical logistics of pathing stuff through stuff, you know. And that is why I'll go out of my way to not even learn how to make drones. And there you go. Now the supply chain of steel has not been broken. This has no longer a supply of... You can delete everything like that. No longer has a supply. So there you go. All right. Steel has been supplied again. And look at all this enormous pile of room. Oh, so much room. So sweet. I can now expand my production. Unfortunately, the damn, what are you called? Crystal silicon is in the way of my silicon plates. I need to adjust this a little bit. This is not going to be too much trouble. Let me delete that. And it should be easy enough. You make a belt. Elevate it like so. Then turning around. Like that. Very, very, very elegant. That's the way I do things. Actually, I need to delete this a little bit. It's a little finicky. But I feel like it's a little finicky because I make it finicky. Alright, now that does not no longer... Then you put a connector to connect the supply and the conveyor belt. And it gets supplied the way it's supposed to. Alright, now we can expand our supply of crystalline chips or whatever the hell they're called. You expand that conveyor belt that brings the silicon. Expand the conveyor belt that brings the copper. And then the supply chain over here. Connect that. And over here. Then you can shift click to make a copy. Plonk it down. It copies all the output, all the input. Oh, but I did it wrong though. No, I did not do it wrong. It's good. There's no reason for it to have double here though. Let me just delete one. There you go. There's no reason to have it. Oh, I don't have enough factory, so let's go to the creation. I'll just produce a couple. There you go. I really like the fact that if you don't have something in your inventory, but you have the items to create it, it will automatically make the item to make the item. See how it makes the lower level item and then it's able to create the next item? I really like that. I forget whether Factorio had that. I think I did. Anyway, I'm carrying way too many iron plates. Way too many. What is even this storage over here? What was it supposed to be? I have no idea. We just get rid of it. It was supplying something. I don't know what. I'm seeing a bit of a problem here. Why? No, I don't want to do that. Put it back. Put it back. Apparently, I don't have... Whatever was coming from here is no longer being supplied. I don't have iron ingots being supplied. What is going on? Why not? Oh, that... What I just deleted that was no longer working. Maybe that's another reason why I have a low supply. This was producing iron plates for the circuit boards. So we need to get a supply of iron plates to this. Now, I think I can simply reverse this supply belt. I think there's enough coming from this side to supply the circuit boards. Let's try it. Actually, that's making circuit boards, but this also is creating circuit boards. I think I just wanted 2 centers of production. So, you know, this is construction that happened 20 hours ago. I need to figure out my own steps that I did. And this is like way of a surplus. Look at the enormous surplus of circuit boards over here. So instead of throwing this production, these iron plates over here in DSP, Dyson Sphere Program, I'm going to call it this DSP from now on. They're called iron ingots, not iron plates. But, you know, they're iron plates. Instead of doing that for the extra factories, what I can do is simply grab these microchips that are being there's such a surplus of them, and just make another belt that carries them over. Doesn't seem too complicated, does it? Let's try to do it. Get one of these. We're going to... it's a little difficult to get a nice output area because of my conveyor belt spaghetti. But I think I can get one through. I still need some power supply here, right? We can maybe wedge one right there. All right. Let's put this nice little belt. It looks like a mess, but it's gonna work out. Oh, see, I can totally bring it out through this side. Oh, excellent. Fantastic. It's going to go over here and then goes over the factory. So I think I need to turning around, go a little bit higher. And now I can go over. There you go. Oh, elegance. Beauty. This will conflict with another one. So go one level higher. That's the thing about... What's it colliding with? I think it's just the satellite power thing. You can't put anything on top of it. So we'll go this way. No? What's it colliding with? I think just the other conveyor belt for some reason. Anyway. This far. I think an enormous strength of this over Factorio is the addition of a third dimension. Being able to go above. It is so nice. And it creates the possibility of things looking like this, which is so enormously pleasing to me. Anyway, that's the microchip supply. There you go. I'm actually going against what I should be doing, which is, you know, creating more. So I am supplying microchips. That's not what I wanted to supply. Now that I completely screwed things over. Because now this is going to clog everything. That was a mistake. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. I need now to get rid of all these. It is completely clogging the supply because I sent it did not belong here. It does not belong. No, you may or may not believe me. This is the first time that I make such a mistake. Let me just harvest all these until the belt is depleted, which is already gonna happen. I thought that's not where it belongs. Where it belongs is here. There we are. Give me this. We can make this do that. There. Let's reconnect it. That's the way it's supposed to be. But you see, what I just did is like it's a mistake where logistics are concerned, because that's the wrong policy. Please, I want to delete this. There you go. The wrong policy is to try to make your supply lines work better. The right policy is to create a new supply line, you know? But like I said, I like to make things work. It's like my own minigame. There you go. So finally. So these are now just completely obsolete. We can just delete these completely. The copper no longer needs to come this way. You can probably delete the whole thing. No, there's another... Yeah, you can delete the entirety of the thing. You can delete that. And that. There you go. Needs to be nice and clean. Will this be enough supply of circuit boards? I'm not sure. This may have created a problem where, oh, now you're not going to have enough over on this side, you fool. You're going to have a supply shortage on the other things that you wanted to build. It doesn't matter. I have made what I wanted to make and it works. Damn it. So now I am able to have 3 more of the crystalline thingamabobber production. I can in fact delete this entire line. I can hold shift, but okay, until the bend. It will destroy things until the bend. Excellent. Look at that. Now I saved myself a whole bunch of room. Look at all this room that I have created for myself by making things more efficient. It is, like I said, the wrong philosophy. You're basically wasting time. Just create another production center somewhere else. But I just love doing stuff like this. And that I just showed you a microcosm of what it's like to play Dyson Sphere Program at this level. So, what's the next step? I just researched the quantum chips. Let's go to technologies. Here's what I've been trying to get. I've been trying to get the vertical launch silos so that way I can launch the Dyson Sphere components into space. That is the ultimate plan. So I can finally, this technology right here required this one first. So I can finally get this one under research. There you are. You can research inside of your mecha if you carry the cubes, or you can have a laboratory such as this one. These are all like 8 levels of the same building put on top of each other. And the research is happening in there. It's being supplied by all these conveyor belts, these colorful conveyor belts. They all come into the research lab through all the different places. See if I can get a nice stack so I can. It makes the research go faster if you have your own stack inside the mecha. There you go. I have a variety of each, so the research can happen. So there you go. That's DSP. I think I've covered the entirety of at least everything before the end game, which is you go take to the stars. You make a Dyson Sphere. Do you think it stops there? No, that's just your first Dyson Sphere. Then you go to a different freaking solar system and harvest that star. And there's some weird meta game there that you upload to the cloud or something like that. I have not looked into that, so don't quote me on that. But there's something along those lines. And then you have a leaderboard or something like that on your overall energy production by harvesting freaking stars. I am so looking forward to making a Dyson Sphere around this sun. It's going to be amazing. But anyway, there you go. DSP is still in alpha. It's not a release game, so you know that. Have that grain of salt for your consideration. If you enjoy Factorio in any way, shape, or form, this is the game for you. This is such an awesome factory building. Holy crap. It is so fun. Even if you have never tried Factorio, if you like what you see here, I don't know if there's anything better. There's Satisfactory, which is, I think, still in alpha as well. Not alpha, early access, which is the alpha release, but whatever. Anyway, I never increased my chip production, but now the supply line is saturated, so that means that my microchip, what's it called? The processor production at least is not bottlenecked by the supply. Now, since I have these raw items that are coming in, I am actually stockpiling more than I am using. Quite obviously, I can make more of these, and that will be the space that I cleared out over here, so it will work out so nicely. So that is the problem solved, right? I guess I should do it on screen, but yeah, it's been already 35 minutes. You can imagine exactly what I need to do. Just build some more of these right there, connect it to the supply line, and then I'll be able to produce more purples for faster, more effective research, and carry on and on and on until I take to the stars forever and I just harvest the galaxy itself. It's going to be amazing. Hopefully you enjoyed this, even if you don't plan on playing it. You can even, by the way, you can customize your mecha, not just the colors. There's also different models. Ooh, you can the system to customize the mecha. I haven't messed with it too much, but there's even a freaking manual way to do it. It's somewhere around here. I forget where I found it, but you can manually attach all kinds of stuff to your mecha to make it a unique design. For now, I just made it red because I am an edgy boy. I am such an edgy boy. I'll see you guys in whatever comes next. I will continue harvesting the energy of my sun, and I will bend this solar system to my will. See you in the stars.